Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Texas 4000 live stream. We're going to be kicking things off this morning with ride dedications. And I want to welcome to the room our riders this morning, Clara, Ray, and Malika. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing this morning?
Great.
Doing well.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to turn things over to you to welcome folks to ride dedications this morning and cue things up for the video before we start taking ride dedications. So if you'd like to say a good morning welcome and introduce yourselves.
Sure, I can go ahead and get started. My name's Clara. I'm the Sierra Assistant Ride Director. And I'm just really excited to get started with ride dedications because this is definitely my favorite part of every meeting and every ride. So I look forward to being able to make dedications to my teammates and everybody who's tuning in right now.
Yep, my name's Ray. I'm a travel coordinator for the Sierra team, and I also really enjoy ride dedications and can't wait to get started.
Yeah, my name's Malika. I'm also a travel coordinator. I really enjoy ride dedications because it's just a constant reminder of the mission and what we're fighting for. So this is definitely one of my favorite parts of the organization.
Awesome. Well, we'll get started with the ride dedication video and let everybody know how to make their ride dedications then.
Texas 4000 is the largest annual charity bike ride that takes place every summer from Austin to Anchorage, Alaska, with the purpose of spreading our mission of hope, knowledge, and charity in the fight against cancer. A ride dedication is a way that we start a lot of our meetings or a lot of our rides. This is when we dedicate a ride or a part of our ride to somebody who has been in some way affected by cancer.
A ride dedication is motivation to me because when I'm going up a steep hill or it's been a really long ride, the ride dedications that I hear from my teammates and myself are the reasons that I keep riding.
Due to the current circumstances surrounding COVID-19, it's no longer safe for us to do our typical bicycle ride from Austin, Texas to Anchorage, Alaska. So instead, we've decided to do things virtually this summer.
So we will be having our cycling events virtually. We will be engaging with our community virtually.
A virtual ride dedication works largely the same way as a normal ride dedication. Before every meeting or before every virtual ride, you would say, I ride for this person. And if you want to, you can go into a little bit more detail about how that person touched your life.
You can submit your ride dedications via 3 different platforms. You can submit a ride dedication via the Texas 4000 webpage. You can join our Facebook live stream, or you can join our Zoom calls.
The virtual ride will be going on from May 29th to June 26th, and ride dads will be held before host interactions in the afternoon and at 7:30 to 8 a.m. Central Time every morning.
Thank you so much for participating.
Join us at texas4000.org. Together we can make a difference.
All right, we're back, and I'm going to turn everything over to the 3 of you for making your ride dedications, and then, of course, inviting people to make their ride dedications live on Facebook this morning. So the floor is yours.
Great. So I can go ahead and get started with my ride dedications. I'll also be checking in on a Zoom call that we currently have going on with our teammates, and I'll be sharing the ride dedications that they have with you guys as well. So first, I'll just start off with my ride dedication for today. Yesterday, I talked about some of the people that I rode originally who I started Texas 4000 for, and today I'll talk about I would like to dedicate this ride to my Texas 4000 2020 Sierra team. I had a pretty unique experience of getting to jump on Sierra kind of halfway through the year And I am so fortunate that I got to meet so many amazing people on this route and have inspired me and helped me so much throughout this Texas 4000 experience. So today my ride dedication goes out to the Sierra route of 2020.
Sweet. So yeah, I also kind of went into my primary Y rides yesterday. My dad, my aunt Evelyn, and my cousin Mark. But today I'm really thinking about our team's leadership and staff for putting together this wonderful online program. Great opening weekend, and I'm really excited to continue with this virtual ride and spread the pillars of our mission.
Yeah, so today I'm writing for my godmother's mother and kind of like my mentor's mother. She lost her battle to liver cancer 2 years ago this weekend. And so this time is always hard for my family and her family. So thinking of her, because normally I'd be able to see her during this time. But we'll be accepting, thank you. We'll be accepting ride deck in the comments now.
So if you're on the Facebook live stream, feel free to drop a ride dead. We will make sure to let everyone know, and then we'll also be relaying ride deads from our teammates. We will definitely be riding for Bob today.
And now I'm just going to check in with our Sierra route real quick to see if they have any ride dedications for us to share as well.
That's my uncle in Mumbai. Hey, Papa and Mama. How are you? I think it's like 6:30 p.m. or so in Mumbai, so everyone's just kind of, more people are definitely awake and alive, hanging out.
And I'll relay it to the Facebook live stream.
Thanks, Catherine. We're definitely writing for Colonel Benson, Colonel Hurley. And those that continue to go.
Thanks for the ride dedication, Richard. We'll absolutely ride for your Aunt Christina and cousin Estrella. Really excited to carry that ride dedication today.
Thanks, Annalena. We'll definitely ride for the Light family today. And Julie Hamilton.
I'm seeing a ride dedication from one of our teammates, Emmy Merriman, who is riding for her new friend, Mr. Bybee, who had Hodgkin's lymphoma 35 years ago and is still struggling with the after effects of radiation. He used to be a big time biker and told her about some trails in Palo Duro Canyon. So hopefully we ride those trails at some point in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Papa Mama.
Thank you.
We'll definitely ride for your Uncle Chris. Yeah. So how are you this morning, Bray?
I'm doing good. You know, I went to bed early last night, so that be fresh this morning, and it paid off. So I'm really excited to get biking. How about yourself?
I went to bed kind of late, but I was ready. I was up and ready to go get on the bike.
Yeah,
It's a great way to start the morning.
definitely. I love getting some exercise in early in the morning. 'Cause it just makes you feel like you've already accomplished so much in the day. You know.
Oh, Clara's back.
Hi. So I just got off I'm still on the Zoom with some of our writers, and I just spoke to Emmy, who is one of our many writers who is active in the healthcare field, and so she works right now. She's working this summer at a cardiology clinic, I believe, and she had an encounter this week with somebody who is going through cancer and cancer treatment, and she met she wants to dedicate her ride today to this lady that she met at the cardiology center.
That's awesome. We definitely want to ride for that person today.
Thank you, Mr. Mama, for my family.
Jody, we're gonna ride for your friend Cherry today. Don't worry about it. We will be riding for her.
Thanks, again.
Hi, all of you. I'm just wondering if you might be able to, share about some of the ride dedications that have been passed on to you as you panhandled in Austin. As we wait for more ride dedications to come in, I think it'd be great to hear how you meet random people on a street corner and they open up their hearts to you.
Yeah, for sure. I think panhandling is one of my favorite parts of Texas 4000 because it's one of the times where we really get to engage with the community here in Austin. And I remember every time, usually you can tell at a Monday meeting when somebody spent the weekend panhandling because they'll come back and pull out their notes on their phone and have this list of people that they met while panhandling that they'll be writing for. It's my cat. But I think every time that I go panhandling, I encounter different ride dedications that motivate me, especially on those occasions where, we're panhandling outside for hours in the Texas heat, or I remember specifically one time it was like pouring rain and I was outside panhandling, and having somebody, open up their window, take the time to, possibly get wet from the rain and like just dedicate a ride to somebody, or dedicate, or just like tell us how awesome it is what we're doing, that they are personally going through cancer or that their lives have been affected by cancer in some way. So panhandling has always been a source of ride dedications for me, and definitely a massive source of motivation. How about you, Malika?
Yeah, Panhandling was a great opportunity to actually feel like you're having a community impact and meet people during your training gear in Austin, and kind of hear a few of their stories and what their experience has been with cancer, whether direct or indirect. And it's also always good to see, we usually go to the same corners, and so it's always great to see people who are like, oh, I saw your teammate here last week, because it just kind of shows that like people are seeing us and hearing us and like keeping up with what we do. And so it's always great to see that too. What about you, Ray?
Yeah, I remember, I think our first time panhandling was Coins for Cancer, when we were in our onboarding semester, and I was shocked by how open people were. Like when you share with them that you're doing this thing for a cause like cancer, and people will just open up, literally on the street corner, and I thought that was very powerful, and I had never really experienced that before. People just sharing stories and people that they care about, sometimes with big explanations. Sometimes the people just roll down the window and just say, "Please ride poor," and they'd say a name and then roll the window back up. Just those kind of interactions were not something I'd ever seen before, and so I think it's really powerful to see how cancer, despite being such a deadly disease, really brings us all together.
Great to see you, Brenda, this morning.
Always riding too for everybody over at Be the Match, because y'all do so much. So Annalena is one of our 2020 Sierra riders as well, and she's riding for her OMA today, so we'll be riding for her today and keeping her in her thoughts.
Thanks for sharing about the folks that you've met during panhandling who've opened up their hearts to you, and not knowing you and just coming in contact with you in that way. I think that's one of the greatest things about what you do as riders, is just being the conduit for people's emotions and their loved ones to be able to carry that on in the fight against cancer, and let them know that there's hope, that there's young people like yourselves out there each and every day doing something for them. And they may not know it unless they come in contact with you on a street corner or meet you while you're out on a ride. But they always then open up and share with you the people in their lives that have been touched by cancer. And I think that's just really wonderful. I know we're waiting to see if there are any more ride dedications in this morning. We'll give another minute or so, and then we're going to let the riders get ready for the cycling that's coming up for another hour after this. I will say again, being part of this organization, I think all of us have had our lives touched by cancer. I've lost my grandfather to leukemia. I've lost my uncle to lung cancer. And as others have talked about, I know Tony talked about yesterday, one of your teammates with his sister. I worked for Make-A-Wish a long time ago, and so many of those children are referred because of their cancer diagnosis. And I am reminded them every day as part of this organization that I ride for all those families that have small children who are diagnosed with cancer and how that impacts them and their whole family, the parents and the siblings and the grandparents, watching a small child go through a diagnosis and a treatment. And, that just, it's for everyone. It's not just children, it's for the adults. And, we are here to continue on that ride, the 2020 team, and all of us as part of the organization every day, our alumni and whatnot. So are there any last ride dedications? I see one just popped up. I'll put that up.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's my aunt in India as well.
See, this is the great thing about what's going on, is that you're touching people all over the world this year, which I think is just absolutely amazing.
Very true, Scott.
Yeah.
Alma, we will be riding for your dad today.
Thank you, Alma. Definitely waiting for your dad. Always riding for
Always riding for Lizzie.
Always writing for Lizzie, for sure.
Well, riders, I think we'll let you get set up. I know you got your bikes there and you want to get ready for an hour of cycling, which we want to ask everyone here to stay on. The broadcast won't stop. We're just going to put a little hold screen up for a moment as the riders get ready on their bikes to continue this morning. And all the other riders and folks get set up in the Zoom call as well. So thank you again, Clara, Malika, Ray, for kicking things off today with our broadcast, and look forward to seeing you guys riding this morning, continuing the fight against cancer.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you, everybody. We'll see them soon on the bikes.
I'm bad at breaking up. Other people always made it look easy. If I didn't have to be in love, in a minute I would believe me. Cause I hate how much it hurts doing the right thing. I hate how much it hurts finding the ending. Cause I tried so hard to let you go, and I'm sorry I left you hanging. But without you I feel so alone. All the same, I can't keep waiting. So I don't wanna close the door, but I think I shouldn't see you anymore. I don't wanna close the door on you. Cause before, when I left it ajar, you and I took things way too far. Now I don't know what to do anymore but close the door.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Texas 4000 live stream this Sunday morning as riders kick off with their hour of cycling. I'm going to welcome back Ray, Clara, and Malika. Here we go. We're kicking things off with cycling this morning. Thanks for being back and inviting people to join in and cycle with you. How's it feel to be on the bike this morning?
Feels great. Ready to start sweating.
Yeah, awesome. Well, talk a little bit for a moment about how much you've already trained as I get your teammates up on Zoom.
So I can go ahead and get started. So I think before we went into quarantine, I had like over 900 miles. And so we had just passed that deadline, so everybody had to have bikes around 900 miles. But then we also had other teammates who were, already at like 2,000 plus miles. But yeah, we've been training a lot. I've still kept biking up throughout this whole process. So been biking a lot indoors. Whenever I was able to go outside, I also was biking outside. But yeah, getting lots of miles in for sure.
Awesome comments coming in here. Well, we'll continue to share. How about I bring in your teammates here that are over on Zoom? There they are. Some getting set up on their bikes. Some already cycling away. I know you're inviting, talk a little bit about you're inviting people from the public to come join you daily as well.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome. You know, I'm not aware of a event other than Atlas in the past, on the past rides where the public could just drop in on us and give a ride dead while we're going.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for us to engage with communities that sometimes our route would not have seen. And so that's the most exciting part about the virtual ride for me.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of riding has always been like having people to having like my teammates motivating each other whenever we're like going up a tough hill or just having a really long ride. And so having that motivation, like coming directly from the community and not just your teammates. So it's been really fun, honestly. The 24-hour relay was a blast. So looking forward.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so looking forward to these next couple weeks.
How many miles have you already done in training, you and your teammates? I know it's different for everybody, but it's been a lot so far.
On average, probably all of us were hitting around 1,000. And then whatever people had done independently on the trainers starting in March. But by March, most of us were around 950, getting close to 1,000.
Wow, that's tremendous. As I was talking, I think it was Emmy the other night, she said how many miles she had ridden. I knew that was enough for her to have ridden from Austin to Chicago.
Wow.
Well, I see we've got everybody up here. Why don't we let you guys get a little cycling in, and we'll put a little music on with you guys, and we'll come back to the folks on Zoom in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
What time blocks did y'all have for the 24-hour relay?
I had a solid 2-3 p.m.
Nice.
Nice. I had 6 a.m., which, you know, like I'm an early rider, so it really wasn't a problem for me. And it's kind of like the best time because that's the time that we would usually be going to CPE. So whenever during our training years, we would go to Saturday, every Saturday we would be.
Thanks, Colin.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you, Colin. Love that.
But yeah, every Saturday we'd be at the CPE ready to go for a ride at 6:15. So 6 a.m. was great. You did a late one, right, Ray?
Yeah, I had 1 to 2 a.m. on Instagram Live with Holden.
I tuned into that. It was great. They had a power minute. They both got to share their Y ride, which was a first for Holden, which was super awesome since Y rides kind of, it was harder to share them over Zoom, mostly just for Zoom meetings.
Yeah, it was a good experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all are both travel coordinators.
Yes.
So what was your can you talk a little bit about like what a travel coordinator does and what your favorite part of being a travel coordinator was?
Melika, do you want to start?
Yeah, real quick, shout out to Christiane. That's Izzy from 2019's mom and Annalena from 2020, Sierra's mom. So just want to give her a quick shout out. In terms of my favorite things, travel coordinator. I actually loved rowing. I kind of got a sneak peek at some of the routes before we were going to ride them. So I was really excited about areas that we were going to ride through, like seeing what it'd be like to ride through Napa. So thank you to my cousin Maythree. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
And so that was the most exciting part, was like seeing like what Swampert Swamper would look like and seeing what Napa Valley would look like.
Yeah, how about you, Ray? I know you your host emails were beautifully written and like
I don't know about that.
well
Yeah, my strategy was don't take no for an answer. So it was actually really fun to reach out to all the different cities and kind of find some contacts in the cities who were interested in our mission. Probably the best city for me was planning in Oregon, Pacific City. I was working with a park ranger to stay at a state park there, maybe a national park. I'm not entirely sure. His name was Mark, and we was communicating. He was very kind. We were working towards getting a campsite donated for free when the pandemic kind of started happening. So we didn't talk for a while, but he said he'd have something lined up for us, which was awesome. But then when the in-person ride got canceled, I shot him an email saying, "Hey Mark, thanks for working with us, but we're not going to make it this year." And he sent this really long note back, like talking about how disappointed he was, but how proud he was of us that we were doing this and how he wanted to see us. And then he talked about his own personal journey with cancer, which it had never come up in any of our conversations. I just thought he was just kind of doing it because it was his job, but it seemed like he was pretty personally invested in our journey. He had a little project where he jumped into every single lake in, I think, 2 different national parks in the U.S. or in Canada or something, and it was to raise money for childhood cancer. So he had done something similar in the past, and while he was bummed that we couldn't come through Pacific City this year, he was super proud of us of what we're doing, and I really hope Sierra gets to go through Pacific City next year and meet him.
yeah, I think one silver lining of the virtual ride was getting to see everybody, when we had to share that the ride wasn't going to look like it has in the past. Seeing all the messages of support, I know that helped our teammates a lot, or at least it helped me a lot whenever I was trying to adjust to this new platform. And I can't even express how much that means, getting those messages and hearing from the community. So that's such a great example of that for sure.
Definitely. Really wish I had a fan right now.
You really like the fan?
I would love a fan.
We have 2 set up. I have one down here. I have one up there.
Wow, just flexing on me like that, huh?
What's your option for riding?
Huh?
Like 65 to 64 riding.
I like the 60s.
I can't really hear y'all, but
I'm not gonna wait up on you. I'll get to work to interrupt the shaking. It up, no, won't stay if you're gonna make it off for nothing. No, I'm taking time to trust. Oh, I know just how to be around a boy like you and me. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Needs to be. If you wanna be with me, let me tell you what to see. It's time to come clean your business. Don't blink, you'll miss me. I'll take it up, pick it up, take it up back up for you, baby. I'll take it, pick it up for you. I'll take it, pull up for you. I'll take it, I'll pick it up for you. Do your thing, take it up back up for you, baby. Do your thing, take it up back up for you. Do your thing.
Thanks, Scott. Scott.
thank you, Scott. Thanks, Mom. That's my mom. Monica, you met my mom, right?
I did.
Good stuff. Thank you, Shuttle. No, Mom. No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
How are
Scott.
things going?
Doing great.
Got a good sweat on.
Awesome. Look at you go. Staying hydrated, of course.
Of course.
We've got some
What?
news here.
Yeah, you got that set up?
Yep.
Well, why don't we check in with your compadres who are all on Zoom? I'll get you guys up.
Look at
There
that.
they are, cycling away. Why don't you talk a little bit about your teammates and your route? And I believe you can go between all of you, but the other thing is that you've got someone who's also cycling on another program today, a virtual program. And if you want to talk a little bit about that and let people know.
Yeah, of course. So today I believe we have Bowen on Zwift, which is an online biking platform, which we've been testing out. And he'll be biking for under the username Texas4000, texas4000.org. If y'all would like to, if you have Zwift and would like to follow him, that's a great way to, bike alongside us.
That's awesome that you're taking advantage of technology like that and then reaching out to other people who are cyclists and interested. Very cool. Why don't you, Malika, why don't you talk about a few of your teammates that are on the Zoom call, and then Ray can chime in on the others as well and just tell a little bit about them.
Yeah, so I think most of us on the Zoom call are on a trainer today. So one of us, I mean, we all know on the right how big the content is. So in this podcast, we have Elvin, we have Ollie on the right, we have Emmy, and then I can't tell you the second Maddie Willis, and Nadir, and who's the last person? Sorry, I took all of them. I didn't mean to, but I think all of us are minus Maddie and Arlena are seniors. Could be wrong about that. And Emmy. So none of us are seniors actually. But, Ray, would you like to take over?
Yeah, Scott, do you actually mind calling everyone's name out? My eyesight's not too great.
Yeah.
Sure. So we know Bowen is actually on his trainer on the Zoom call as well as on Zwift. Annalina's on, Emmy, Madison, Mahir, Kanal, all cycling along with you today.
Awesome. Yeah. So my teammates are great. I think Sierra's got the best route this year. Obviously, everyone's amazing, but I think Sierra's the best route. We've got a really good culture. All those people you called out are just great people. Love seeing them at meeting. Love riding with them. Very motivating people. Hard workers as well. We've got some committee chairs in here. Mahir with fundraising, Bowen with fitness, and yeah, just some really good work ethics, and just some great teammates.
Oh, some photo bombing going on here.
I'm stuck in the hallway, so we kind of have to photo bomb to get to the parts of the house.
We love family support. That's the best.
You might see them pass through occasionally. We are so proud of all of you.
Oh, thank you so much. We're so proud of your daughter as well.
Yeah, this is close to our cause. Absolutely, so proud you have been with us through this.
You have an amazing daughter. She is going to do great things in life.
Thanks, Scott.
Clara, why don't you, you've all been talking about the Sierra route, but there's a lot of people who might not know what Sierra route means. And when we physically ride across the country, kind of where that goes. And I know you're going to be engaging those communities that are on that route virtually, but if you could tell a little bit more about it.
Yeah, of course. So Sierra, also known lovingly as Sierra Dice, or Paradise, goes up the west coast of the United States. So we get to hit Washington, Oregon, California, We get to see kind of all the landscapes in different parts of the U.S. So, so the route usually like the first week, 2 weeks is, desert terrain, and then finally get to this California and you get to see this big ocean. So it's definitely like not only is it a beautiful route because of the nature and everything we go through, but also the different communities that we get to reach, like El Paso, where we get to give a lot of programs. We get to also meet up with some of our sponsors like Cliff. So yeah, it's an amazing route. It's called Sierra Dice for a reason. And I've been on both Rockies and Sierra, and I can say Sierra's the best route. But all the routes are awesome, but as a Sierra rider, I'd have to argue that Sierra, hands down, the best.
Well, I know we have some travel folks here. Ray, Malika, what are the spots that you worked with that are on your route that maybe people might have heard of or might not have heard of?
I was going to say real quick that I might have to get on the Rockies stream to make sure there's no route slander going on after everything that we've said, how great Sierra is. But in honesty, one of my favorite cities to work with was Johnson's Crossing in Yukon, Canada. Extremely small city, more of a town, honestly. But we've had a long time host there, and I'd just call him up with updates, and he'd answer, be so nice. Just really cared about the mission, really wanted to help us. And I was really excited to get up there this summer, but hopefully we'll be able to chat with him on a Zoom call at some point during this virtual ride.
And do you remember or know how long they've been involved at that location with Texas 4000?
I don't. It's been at least 3 years, because I've seen them in travel planning sheets in years past, but I did not go digging that far back.
I do know, for your information, all of you on the Sierra route, we have hosts in Oregon who I chat with, who literally met Chris Condit, our founder, the first year, and they have been hosts every year since, for 16 years. You're the 17th team. So just amazing how you as riders touch people's lives and get them involved and how they stay involved from that point on. So Malika, is there anybody, any of the route cities that you worked with that you'd want to talk about?
Yeah, I actually love White Cliff, California. It's a little over an hour outside of, I think, Joshua Tree in LA, in that kind of area. I think it's the day after we did Joshua Tree. And it was actually a hard city to coordinate because we didn't really have long term, but part of the reason that was rewarding was because I got to reach out to people on my network, other people's networks, to try to organize finding a host. Upon talking to my mom and my brother, they were like, we drove through that city and stayed there overnight, actually. And so I got to learn a lot about that show, and that was a really rewarding experience. Ultimately, we ended up running a host, so that was great. And so hopefully next year's team gets to visit with the same host.
Awesome. Well, hey, I'm going to pop on some music for just a little bit, let you guys cycle. I can imagine we learned over the 24 hours. It's a little harder to talk and cycle at the same time for long periods.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to you and your teammates in a minute. We'll put some music on.
How are you liking New Jersey, Ray?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, the design's great. You can see it at home, but got some trees, got like some mountains, some valleys too, it looks like. Just got it in the mail yesterday, actually.
Oh, how exciting. No longer wearing the 2019 training jersey.
Yeah, wait, Mom, I'm live streaming. You can let them out. Sorry, got some interference going on. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
It's all good. Do you like the jersey?
I'm loving the jersey. It's so beautiful. It's a work of art, actually.
Malika, can you hear me okay? Okay. You were with me on our half century, right?
Yes.
Was that our actual half century text?
No, my actual half century, I think, was with Brian Kim.
Okay. But
it was the week before, maybe. Maybe it was that week.
Maybe. I just remember. Was it with you that I had to sing the Constitution? That I was singing the Constitution. Okay.
You sing a lot.
I do a lot of singing and hiking to try to forget the pain.
The what?
I do a lot of singing when I'm biking to like forget the pain. So if anybody's watching and is like wants to get into biking, wants to know, like how to stay motivated, highly recommend singing Schoolhouse Rock, the preamble of the Constitution. Really, it's a great song to get motivated to, as Malika can attest.
For these last 29 minutes, we actually will be accepting song requests. If you guys don't enjoy it, you can always turn the music back on.
Yeah, I have never, while I do sing while biking, I cannot sing, period. So I'm just like, I'm not singing to a public
song request.
What was your favorite ride, Ray?
Honestly, Lime Creek Dam Loop is probably my favorite. I just felt really good on the bike. Getting out to Lime Creek was smooth. Lime Creek itself was relaxing, those up and down hills, kind of tucked away by the lake. And then coming up the dam loop was probably the most difficult part.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got up past the dam into Lakeway, it just felt really good on the bike. There's some headwind, but we were trading off, our ride group was trading off breaking the wind. It was really nice. Pulled in that HEB parking lot, met our host from Anchorage. It was amazing. Had a banana and Nutella kind of snack. It was amazing. Bananas dipped in Nutella is pretty great. Then went back to Austin, and it was a good ride. It was also my first time ride leading, so enjoyed that.
Yeah, our Anchorage hosts have been with us since the first year, so I would agree with you. That was also my favorite ride. It was just such a beautiful day. I was really nervous for that ride, and like having Grace, one of my teammates on the Rockies route, he was our ride lead for that day, and he was just like so confident and calm and collected, and so it made that route so nice and carefree, just a beautiful day. So getting to finish it off with meeting the Anchorage hosts was definitely a highlight because they've been so supportive. They've been like sending the whole team emails with letters of support, and just we're so grateful for them.
Yeah.
How about you, Malika? What was your favorite ride?
That was
the one that I got to sing to you the whole time, of course.
That was, the Dam Loop Lime Creek combo was definitely my favorite ride. I remember Grayson Maggio, the Ozark sergeant, was leading that ride, and we started off the ride with like 4 flats in like the first hour.
Oh my gosh.
We took off. I think morale was like getting low within the first hour for like a second. We were like, oh gosh, this is so many flats. But ultimately, we made it through the ride. It was great. I had a great group that kept pushing me up those hills, and we just really enjoyed it. Like, I think it was like the weather that day was beautiful, the route was beautiful, the people with with were always beautiful. So everything came together really beautifully for like the class, and everyone took like a chance ultimately.
Yeah, I was driving across the dam yesterday, and I saw that hill. There's this hill on Dam Loop where like you don't think it's steep, but it is so long and just like exhausting. And like a lot of times I'll be driving through Austin and like drive past a hill that we bike and just like get like instant trauma. Like, oh my gosh, that was the hill.
Sometimes it wouldn't even be a hill that we biked, but sometimes I would just drive up a hill and I'd be like, this would be awful to bike up.
Yeah.
That's what I started thinking in the spring semester was like, oh, I would not enjoy this hill.
Like, I don't know if anyone watching the streams from Austin, but I know everyone from UT will be able to relate to this. But that hill going up MLK from Lamar,
scary hill.
Never had to bike up that, but surely never want to.
I agree.
Maybe that'll be our challenge. Like,
that'd be fun.
The spiritual ride, you go out there, Ray, climb that hill.
I don't know if I'd make it.
Ray, you have some background in biking. Could you tell us about that a little more?
I have some what?
You have some background in cycling, right?
Not really. I got, so once I got into T4K, I got a bike for my birthday in January after that, and we didn't get our T4K bikes till like October. So I guess I biked like 7 months before we like started biking T4K, and so that was nice. I think that helped with the learning curve. And also my dad really likes biking, so he taught me how to ride a bike. So we used to bike around the neighborhood and stuff, and some good memories there.
Very good.
I think that's something a lot of us share. Like, a lot of us, like, I know for me, my dad loved cycling, and when I told him I was gonna bike to Alaska, he was like, sure, because I had never really biked. But he definitely, like, he's 64, 65, and he's still out there chugging along. Like, definitely a massive motivation for me. I know we have a lot of like people on the team though who also do have a background in biking. I know Bowen used to race, and he's our fitness coordinator, so he got us all, trained up, so that even though we all started from different places, we all got those miles in. So,
and I think here's another person on the team who's done MS 150 either once or who's once. I don't know the first time, so I don't want to take a guess, but I know he has a bit of background in cycling as well. But those team members are able to support so many of us and help us feel comfortable on the bike. Like, the more seasoned cyclists can definitely be the person who's like by you on the hill, and when you get up there, watching you go 2 miles an hour, and also putting themselves to 2 miles an hour.
Malika, Ray, Clara, just checking in again with you. I'm hearing this great conversation talking about your cycling. I know some of your teammates, a few of them, had never even ridden a bike till the first skills clinic that we had. Probably most of you had not ridden a bike where you clip in. And then can you maybe even just share a little bit about like starting out with skills clinic, kind of how the training goes? I know, shout out to Bowen and all the folks from fitness and safety. on the amount of work that goes in to plan all your training routes. Can you just talk more about training and how that progresses as you start with Texas 4000?
I guess I can start that one off. Clara, Malika, feel free to chime in whenever. But so workouts really start kind of towards the end of onboarding semester and in the summer. We start with running workouts because, like Scott mentioned, there's no cycling requirement to join this organization. So we kind of worked our way up from just 1 mile runs to 2 mile runs to 5Ks. And then at the beginning of the fall semester, we did a 5K test, had to run it below a certain time. And then we kind of graduated to our bikes. But in that kind of window between finishing our 5K and getting our bikes, we did Saturday like calisthenic workouts at Clark Field. Just did like some cardio stuff, some strength stuff. And then when we finally got our bikes, it was amazing. We had 2 skill clinics. We had a training camp out in the hill country. And then we just kind of worked our way up to longer and longer outdoor rides. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to our training camp coaches because you're getting the way training camp works is we go out to the hill country and we camp out for 2 days in a school gym, and we do safety drills, learning how to brake, emergency brake, and we'll also do 2 rides. And so those rides were the first difficult rides I think we ever did with hills. And I remember that first day for me was really tough. Didn't feel really getting the gears, knowing what gears to go on when going up a hill. I did not know, so I was going up on the wrong gears. I was so scared the whole time. I just remember thinking how am I gonna bike to Alaska? I can barely do this day, and it was only 30 miles. And I think the second day, thanks to all the coaches, the second ride, I was feeling great because I felt so much more confident having them there teaching us what to do. So thanks to all the coaches for helping us out at training camp.
Yeah, I often reflect on the fact that I remember thinking that one hill on our second route far west was really difficult. And I don't know if I feel the same way I don't think I feel the same way if I do it now, but it's so cool to see how your body has strengthened over time, how the skill and ability to get up some of those hills that are really hard at the beginning of the year, and how much you've grown and just gotten your field and biking. It's just very cool to see in a very short period of time. It feels like to me.
Thanks for sharing all of that. I'm wondering if you could talk. Yeah, I know Bowen's on the Zoom call, so he can't talk himself, but can you share a little bit, Ray, first, and about just kind of what fitness and safety does and getting you ready, because you ride every Saturday as a team.
Right.
You ride during the week in smaller groups that you guys get to set up, but there's a lot of route planning to do those training rides. Just kind of explain a little bit what fitness and safety does so people can understand. We talk about this as a leadership development program, but each committee has so much work that they do. And then folks like Clara, who are in a ride director position, are over all of those people that are in committee chair positions. So talk a little bit more about fitness and safety and just the amount of work that's in there.
Definitely. So I can speak to fitness and safety from a ride lead perspective. So kind of the structure of the fitness and safety committee is there's the chair, which is Bowen, and an RD who oversees that committee. And then with Bowen, there are several different coordinators who plan Saturday rides, keep weekday rides organized, and manage our mile log system. So that's kind of the structure of the fitness and safety committee. And I can't speak to how many hours they put in, but it's got to be a lot, because they drive all of the routes before they clear them for us to ride them on Saturday, and we're not allowed to ride a given route until we've done it as a whole team on a Saturday ride. So they vet the routes, drive the routes, make sure they're safe, tweak them a little bit. I know Simon was the Saturday ride coordinator who worked closely with Bowen to make sure the Saturday rides were safe. And then beneath that kind of core group of the committee are the ride leads. And so the ride leads are just pretty much riders who learn the routes ahead of time and lead the Saturday rides, lead weekly rides, to make sure there's someone on the ride who knows the route and who can ensure the team's safety while riding the route. And so that committee as a whole makes up a pretty big portion of the team because of the number of ride leads we need to make sure the ride is safe at all times. So they put in a ton of work, and goes without saying that this organization would not exist without a really well-oiled, well-functioning fitness and safety team.
Yeah, and we also on Sierra, we have both Bowen, who is the fitness coordinator, but we also have Holden, who is our safety coordinator. So, with Tex 4000, we always want to make sure that everybody's riding safely, and that if there are any issues with any of the routes, we know of them beforehand. So Sierra's definitely repping with F&S committee for sure.
Well, thanks for sharing all that. I think it's good for people to know just how much work goes into this as you are in the program for 18 months planning for the larger ride, just how much is going on along that time frame. And also, Malika, your team is having safe outdoor riding going on at the same time you guys are doing indoor cycling, and we're asking people to join your team in solidarity as well. If they're riding outside, we've got scrolling across the bottom hashtags, but could you tell a little bit about, what your team is doing and then what we're asking people to do outdoors by, sharing social posts?
Yeah, so because the 2020 ride is looking a little different, and we're not getting to visit communities directly, we're asking people to participate in the social media campaigns, use those hashtags below. In addition to the standard Texas 4000, hashtag Texas 4000 that we'll normally use, hashtag T4K rides on, hashtag ride with T4K, just kind of showing that, in adversity, Texas 4000 continues to fight for cancer research and cancer support services and to support those. And in terms of outdoor riding, some of our team members are doing solo rides, and some of them are doing small social distance ride groups. Just if they're in I think most of them are in the Austin area because those are the routes that we typically know best. But some are scattered in Dallas, Houston, and I think there might be in Alexander actually. Colin is in Minnesota. I think he might be doing some outdoor riding. I'm not sure though. But just so that being on the trainer every day is not as easy as feeling the natural breeze. So outdoor riding is a great way to spend some time outside.
That's great. And, again, because we're engaging people virtually everywhere, as your family members across the globe were sending in messages this morning, this is an opportunity for anyone to ride with you. And if they're able to safely cycle outdoors, we're sharing our safe cycling information on our social media so people know how you as team members are safe cycling and what we'd recommend to people doing it in their community and following all the guidelines for it. But anyone can join in. They can use those hashtags. All of those social posts will feed into our website at texas4000.org on the homepage right below where people can actually watch the broadcast, which is up live on our website's homepage right now. And they can see that. And also, all of your teammates can see it as well, which I think is great. They can see how many people through the broadcast and through sharing social media messages that you're touching, the lives that you're touching in the fight against cancer. So I think that's really, really cool.
Oh, thanks, Ms. Maggio.
More shout outs from people on Facebook sharing those messages. Thanks for, again, continue to share those messages to our riders. We'll pull them up on screen as they continue to cycle and keep them going, keep them motivated in the fight against cancer. We appreciate you all joining them. And we want to continue to grow the group that will join and cycle with the riders during morning hours or during evening hours as we broadcast. Tune into the broadcast and look to our website at texas4000.org for the schedule so you know when to log on. And there's links there, so it'll drive you directly to where you have to go to watch the broadcast. Don't have to remember it. You can just go to texas4000.org to follow. Any shout outs you want to do, Clara, for your teammates that are on the Zoom call?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first, a shout out all of them for being here. I mean, it's Sunday. It's 8:50 a.m. I don't think this is what a lot of college students are doing right now. So shout out to all of them. I know all of them yesterday were on our Clip Out for Cancer, following along and showing support to our teammates. So shout out to them. Shout out to Mahir. I'm loving the towel look. It looks really nice. You know, good way to stay, you know, clean and sweat free while biking. Annalena too, killing it. All of y'all are doing an amazing job. I love biking with y'all always.
Well, you just made a reference to how early you're biking on a Sunday morning, but let's be truthful. What time do your Saturday rides start, Ray?
So we start ride dads at 6:45 sharp, which for a guy like me, that means I got to wake up at 5:30. I got to set my alarm for 5:30 because I know I'm not getting out of bed until 5:45, and got to make breakfast or else I'll regret it later. So it's an early affair for sure. Definitely going to bed early on Friday nights is a lifesaver.
And Malika, so you started Saturday rides back in October, right after training camp. And so you've been doing this, getting up that early every Saturday as a college student. And as we know, Friday nights for anyone are usually the popular nights. So just talk about what, you know, again, I know what a commitment it is to the organization, but talk about it personally, what a commitment it is to give up that time.
I personally was really happy to kind of establish this routine. I felt like it was really beneficial for my mental health in some ways, like, because biking is a really important time to reflect on your week. You have 10 hours sometimes, and you have so much time to just like sit there and think. And so I found that having that time Saturday mornings was so important that I was willing to sacrifice my Friday nights for that. So I would be in bed around, at the latest, 10:30 sometimes. And actually, the Sierra group would always get a text message from Ray being like, "What interview sleep right now?" And so that was always a reminder if I was up that I need to get to bed, because it's important to get at least like 7 hours of sleep before you have to be on a bike for a long period of time, because it matters not only for your safety, but for the safety of those that you're riding with. So while giving up Friday nights was a sacrifice, it was a worthy sacrifice because I knew what I was doing was worth it, not only for me, but for the people that I was riding with and the organization I committed to. So
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And Clara, you know, Ray mentioned it just a minute ago as well. He, you know, get up early, fix breakfast. Now, we know on the shorter rides, you may be able to get by with some nutrition, you know, on a short ride. But as you get further and further along in training, it is absolutely just a necessity to take in fuel early and throughout cycling. So if you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So we learned about this thing in training camp called bonking, which has been an experience for some of us on the team and not a pleasant one. That's when you didn't feel your body super great for a long ride and you just cannot pedal. And, if you're 20 miles in and you still have 50 miles to go and you bonk, that is not an experience any of us like. So I usually start my morning with oatmeal and peanut butter. Shout out to Emmy. She's biking right now. She was our nutrition coordinator. So she gave a bunch of talks on, what to eat before you ride. Along with Cliff, obviously, they have saved me from so many bonks. I usually, if I didn't, for some reason, woke up late, I would eat a Cliff bar. And then throughout the ride, no matter what, I always have 5 packs of the Cliff blocks with me. So the salted watermelon is the best flavor ever. So I always have a ton of those with me. About within the first 10 miles, I would eat a couple of those. And then that was the only way I didn't bonk. At rest stops, I would always, fill up my bottle with some Noon because I don't know if you can tell, but I sweat a lot. So I use a lot of electrolytes. So Noon was definitely a lifesaver. I know Ray can attest that one time he bonked. I don't know if you want to tell that story, Ray, but he was having a really difficult ride, and those Noon tablets with caffeine saved him. So nutrition was definitely something that we had to learn, and it was definitely a learning experience. But we're really grateful for Cliff, Noon, Emmy for helping us out with nutrition, because nobody likes bonking for sure.
Well, we're coming up on 4 minutes to go. I think I'm going to put on a little song that's a little upbeat to close you guys out and let you cycle into the close. We'll come back so you can give some closing remarks for the first hour of cycling for the Sierra route.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, Scott.
Let's finish strong.
Yeah. Out of the saddle, get those muscles.
Oh, yeah. I'll give it one more go to get through the finish.
Attack that last minute.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to attack the whole last minute. That was crazy on the Instagram Live the other night. Don't know if my body can take that this morning, but we're gonna give it our best shot.
Should we stay on for an extra hour, guys?
Yeah, easy breezy.
We've done longer rides.
Yeah. I'll do it if y'all do it.
I'll do it.
I'm going to go for a run after this. So.
Bicycle World. Thanks, Bicycle World.
Bicycle World.
So they're the people who gave us our bikes, who provided us with our bikes and helped us get set up. And a lot of our first years came from Bicycle World, so we love them.
Yeah, go to their online store, look through some stuff, maybe pick out something you've been wanting to get. They'll set you up good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Jody.
Yeah, if y'all have trainers and want to, get up at 8 a.m. and hop on your trainer and bike with us, great way to start the day for sure.
So do y'all consume caffeine before you ride or no?
What's up?
Do y'all consume caffeine before you ride? I have to start my morning with espresso.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've slowly weaned off of coffee, but I still need tea in the morning.
Yeah, I go with caffeinated blocks.
I just can't get up at 5:30 without coffee. That's the thing with Saturday rides.
All right, last minute.
Last minute, let's go.
Let's go. Hour.
Oh yeah. Just imagine I'm in the Tour de France.
Now, please.
Come with me. Feel the rhythm. Baila esta noche. Can you feel the heat?
No.
What?
Just let me work. 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 Just let me work.
So I think you put in the work, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you guys for opening up Sunday for the first route group to hit it alone on a daily broadcast.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
And thank you.
Everybody came and watched.
Yeah, there's so many people coming to watch. There'll be even more as you continue this through June 26th for 4 weeks. We'll be able to see you and your teammates on the Rockies and Ozarks route along with Sierra. Just want to, say thank you to you and your teammates again for continuing to engage people in the fight against cancer. Why I know, we're not able to do the physical ride this year from Austin to Anchorage. You guys are just such great, resilient young people to find a new way to engage people and keep people helping in the fight against cancer. Because we know even with the current environment with COVID, the cancer doesn't stop and we can't either. And you're riding on. And I think that's so awesome. I'm going to close things out here with our sponsors and let you guys go. And you can continue to ride if you want with your teammates. I think you might be doing something separate from this, but thank you so much. And you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Scott. You too. Thank you, everyone who tuned in.
We always run to catch the moment. I can't stop praying. Nobody can stop me, I'm running. I'm only falling. You don't need holding. I'm only falling. Just enjoy the moment. We always run to catch the moment. I can't stop praying. Nobody can stop me, I'm running. We always run to morning. I can't stop praying. Nobody can stop me, I'm running. I'm only falling. You don't need home, man. I'm only falling. Just enjoy the moment. How will lead us to what we love in? You don't need hope.